guys, so I've never really told you guys why or how I built this roof, so that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to tell you all about it. Well, as you can imagine, before I had this roof, my plants used to get pretty much destroyed every single time it rained. And what that means is that we end up with pots looking like this. There's no longer a plant and there's no longer any soil either. Obviously we don't want that to happen. But the thing is that when it rains here in Australia, it rains really hard, which is what actually causes our pots to actually look like that. It rains so hard and so heavily that no matter what you do, you can't really stop the rain. You can't just put a cloth over them or put them under a ceiling and hopefully that prevents them from getting destroyed, because even with this roof, there's been many times where the rain has come in literally sideways and killed off our plants. But it does still help from the majority of it. So essentially this is what it protects the plants from. Whenever it rains really heavily, this is what the plant would usually get. But now with the roof, we're able to save them. So as you can tell, the plants don't really get any water on them at all. And as you can see, the plants are pretty much safe and the water all just runs off here at the end. But I can tell you guys something, it wasn't as simple as it looks. Let me explain to you everything that I had to think about and go through when making this roof. So first off, this is obviously a table that can be moved around. And the reason for that is because I'm obviously not living permanently anywhere in Australia at the moment, and I needed to move the table if anything were to happen. And luckily that happened that way because I had to move to where I'm currently at. And with that, to create a roof, I couldn't have the roof permanently installed in something. So the roof had to be installed on the table so that I could move the roof with the table, because if I were to build a structure with the roof, you know, when I leave, I'd have to get rid of it and waste all that money and all of that supplies and whatnot. So that's how we came up with this design as part of the table. So basically, as you can see, we have PVC pipes on the table, on each leg, just up against the table like that. And then we built the rest of the structure around these legs here. And I'll explain more about why we chose PVC and the structure itself, like how I built it and why I built it that way in a minute. So the reason as to why I used PVC is because to buy wood was much more expensive at that time, and also much more difficult to get it actually cut. And the other thing about the wood is that building what I wanted to build with wood was not as easy as what I wanted to do with the PVC. Let me explain. Just a quick update for some of you guys who may be interested on that random syngonium that we found literally like next to the rubbish bins. Looking really good. Obviously I don't do anything. It gets water from the rain and yeah, it's grown quite a bit. But yeah, let's get back to the video. So it's actually raining right now. It's been raining non-stop for like the past 3 months. But the roof is doing its job, which is why I'm hiding underneath it. So let me talk to you guys down here. Basically, what I wanted to achieve from this roof is something that was easy to build, cheap to build, simple, and didn't need me to put holes in the roof, because if I put holes in the roof, when I wanted to reuse the roof in the future, for when I build a permanent greenhouse in a permanent place where I decide to live, it would have holes in it, obviously. So I wanted to ensure that I could preserve the panels for that time. And we have obviously accomplished that with this design over here. And it's kind of like a Lego setup. Like we put all pieces together and we slotted it in. Let me kind of show you what I mean. I'll take you around the table. So of course, the first thing that I had to do was figure out the length of these PVC pipes, you know, the legs of the roof. And that was simple enough. I built this table. I knew its lengths and stuff. And obviously I had to find these panels, which are quite expensive. They were $50 each. And so yeah, another reason as to why I want to move to the USA, because you have to import these from the USA. So when you actually build it there, it's way cheaper. But regardless of that, we have our legs on each part of the table. From the legs, we have to go up into something that will hold the table, well, the roof, you know, fairly well. So we got these T pieces, or I don't know, 5-way direction pieces. So we could create this little ladder structure going across, and across at the end, and obviously joining them all up so they stay stable with each other. And they're all glued together with PVC cement, which doesn't work very well. I don't know why, but it just keeps coming apart. Hasn't in a while now, but yeah, it happened a lot. From there, I had to measure out the length of the panel and then allocate an extra amount of PVC that would come onto the end to hold it in place in these 2 T pieces here. As you can see, the height of the panel pretty much sits right in there. And what that means is that the panel can't slide down, and on that side, on those panels, T pieces, they can't slide upwards. So that holds them in place from going up and down. Now after that, we have to ensure that the full panel is actually being held, because we need a, encapsulate it. So that's what we got here. We figured out the lengths that we need at the bottom, including these pieces here, add them onto here, cut this off, put these together, and then go across with one solid beam to hold it down. And obviously we don't have that in the middle, which I wish I had actually done, looking back at it now, but it still works. And then we have the issue of the panels flopping up and down in the wind, and that's mainly because I didn't have a middle piece, which is why we got these bungee cords a while back. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole build, guys. It was much more difficult than what I'm telling you, because I had to obviously figure out costs and prices of everything and go through everything like that, figure out how much to cut these and these lengths here, and ensure that we get the most bang for your buck per PVC, instead of buying like a whole bunch of random ones and then having lots of off cuts, like lots of extra pieces. I was literally ended up with about this much extra PVC at the end of it all, because I don't like to waste. And so yeah, I had wasted very, very little PVC. It was cheap, does the job, and it's future proof, and it's very simple, compact. So that's kind of how we got to this, guys. But in talking and that, like I said, I want to move to the US of A. So some of you have asked what I'm going to do with this table. I'm going to sell it, kind of, I hope, maybe, when I leave. I don't know who the hell would want to buy this table, because it's so specific for the plants. But yeah, I'll probably sell this table with all of the pots that I have. So all these type of pots here, because I made the table specifically able to fit different combinations of these pots. So the amount of space that these small pots takes up, you left with just a little bit there. For the big pots, you can fit in 2 big pots here. Very little space wasted. And the same with the big pots and the tall pots. They're all multiples of the table's length, which is 0.9 meters, and it's 2.7 meters across, so that's a multiple also. It's 2.7, 0.9 times 3. Yeah, anyway, that's maths. But that's how I built the table, guys. It's very, very simple, very, very easy. I just wanted something that was future-proof and did the job, gets held in place, doesn't slide around. If you guys have questions, ask me, but I will be selling them. But now let's talk a little bit more about the USA, because I have brought it up a couple of times, and this is what we're kind of talking about the past couple of weeks. So let's talk about them. So guys, some of you have asked me, like I just mentioned, about the table. I will try to sell it. The plants, I will try to sell them. As you guys can see, I still have quite a few. If you guys want some plants, I have them for sale. Drosera capensis, Alba, normal capensis, different types of Venus flytraps and Sarracenias, and 1 Nepenthes ventrata. Yeah, if you guys want some of them, let me know now. I can sell them to you. I do ship all over Australia, but not anywhere else, because exporting is very difficult. But yeah, to answer some of you guys' question, I think I've decided on states to live in. I did look at quite a few states. We started off looking at Texas, I mentioned to you guys, and Arizona and Nevada. Now, they're quite hot, and yeah, they just wouldn't work. Many of you guys mentioned they're too dry too, and there's restrictions on building and collecting water and all that stuff. Many of you guys mentioned looking into the Carolinas and Georgia, because they're like, you guys are saying, they're the birthplace of the carnivorous plants, and yeah, true. I looked into them. Georgia and South Carolina specifically looks like the best bet. Them along with California, but California is like really expensive, as you guys know. So it looks like the place where I will most probably be going to is either South Carolina or Georgia, most probably South Carolina, in the foothills of the mountains, as quite a few of you guys have mentioned. The nighttime temperature in summer there stays, there's only 4 months where it's over 16 degrees Celsius, and it gets up to 20 or something silly like that. It's like so cold, which is basically perfect for the Highlanders, perfect for cool growing plants. It doesn't get below freezing. It doesn't really get above 30 degrees Celsius. So temperate plants will be happy. Winter growers will be happy. Tubers will be happy. Highland Nepenthes will be happy. Lowland Nepenthes will be happy because you just have to heat them up. So yeah, that looks like the place there, or northern Georgia or California if I become like rich enough. If you guys buy enough plants off of me. But yeah, those are the states that I've decided on. Next up, need to get a visa. So if someone wants to marry me, let me know. I'm just joking. But yeah, trying to figure out visas, guys. It's not easy. Like even here, I've been in Australia for 2 years now. I'm living temporarily here. It sucks having to be temporary all the time. So yeah, if you guys have any cool tips or tricks, let me know. I have mentioned that I am a software developer in a previous video, but getting someone to actually sponsor me is difficult. Like, I'm not asking you to pay for me to get there. Like, this is what they think. They think that I want them to pay me or pay for me to get there. Like, no, I'll pay all that stuff myself. You just have to sign a letter saying you're employing me. But I don't know how people think. Anyway, but yeah, I've had a couple interviews, and it seemed like it went well. So yeah, guys, I'll keep you updated on that, but we've decided on the state. So yeah, that's pretty much the update for the plants, how I built the roof, because someone wanted to know. If you guys want to know anything about the plants at all, let me know. I'll make a video on it just like this one. And yeah, I have plants for sale. Also guys, if you've watched this far into the video, just subscribe to the channel. It's free, it's easy, and I want to hit 10,000 subscribers at the end of the year. So anyway guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Let me know what you want to see from me, what I can help you with, what I can teach you, anything guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode.